Hi everyone, welcome back to Goldfries. Now this is the ASRock Deskmini. It's a tiny PC barebones kit that is of a 2-liter volume. Now the price in Malaysia here varies. It can go from about RM 700 to about 1000. In your country it will be very different as well because there are many models of it. There's the Intel model and this AMD model. The one with me here is the X300 AMD model, and then the price will vary depending on what's included, like whether the stock cooler, the AMD version does have a stock cooler, at least over here in Malaysia, then whether it includes a VESA mount kit, whether it has a Wi-Fi module and all that. So yes, the pricing does varies. The Deskmini is simple, as you can see. From the front it is like this, from the top side it's like this, and from the underside there are depressions for feet, and from the rear it looks like this. With the screws removed, you can now release the enclosure and access the motherboard. You have to purchase your own memory, storage and processor of course. For my setup, I'm using the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G, which I find is the highest CPU I will go for the stock cooler. After all, the stock cooler is small. Note that I mentioned CPU simply because AMD has long been using this term CPU with or processor with graphics. Although on the URL it still does say APU. Anyway, basically you need a CPU of your own and make sure that CPU has an integrated graphics. If not, well, you can't use any graphics card on this one. You have to output it some way. Anyway, on full load, the stock cooler managed to keep the 5600G warm at almost 90 degrees Celsius after a full run of Blender benchmark, while gaming workload saw it kept the 5600G below 60 degrees Celsius. Now with the Team Group SSD and Lexar SODIMM memory and the Wi-Fi kit installed, the system is now ready to enter the enclosure and to be powered on. But this time I'm going to do it differently because I'm not going to just leave the Deskmini like this. I'm going to mount it on a monitor for you to see, and I've chosen the Philips 241V8. The Philips 241V8 series monitor retails at just about RM 500, and it has a VESA mount like this that does not hinder the base and the stand of the monitor, which suits the Deskmini very well. With the VESA mount installed, the Deskmini looks like this, and after hooking up to the monitor, it looks like this. With the Deskmini in place, all you have to do now is power on both monitor and Deskmini with all the required accessories connected of course, and it's a single PC that's already on the monitor. And with that, we come to the end of this review of the ASRock Deskmini. Now, I'm not going into the performance of the CPU and all that because it really depends on what CPU you're using, and being an, well, let's call it APU, like this one for the AMD one is using SODIMM. So SODIMM typically has looser timings. It might affect slightly of the performance, but it should not be an issue at all. You have storage space on the Deskmini, even at the bottom, to put 2.5 inch SATA drives. So you can look at the specs on their product page. All the details are there. Now as for the cooler, as I said earlier in the benchmark, it's sufficient to cool the 5600G. If you're going higher, like say the 5700G, you might want to consider some other cooler. To what I know, it is possible to mount a beefier cooler to cool higher end CPUs on the Deskmini. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.